Hi guys, what is going on? Jack from Minifigures here, and today I'm going to be talking about 5 of the best clone minifigures that you should pick up. As you likely know, LEGO Clone Troopers are crazy popular in both the realm of LEGO collectors and investors. And some of the rarer Clone Troopers can even go for quite a lot of money once they've retired in the sets that they originally came in. So today I'm going to go over 5 of the best Clone Troopers that I personally think are going to be really good in the future and that are going to see a really nice increase in value. But before we get into the video, I just want to say that I'm not a financial advisor and this isn't financial advice. This is just my personal opinion on what minifigures that I think will do well in the future. So getting into our top 5 list, and at 5th place we have the 501st JETPACK Trooper. This minifigure has already seen an average price on eBay of about £16 or 18 euros or dollars. And it's not hard to see why. This really is a fantastic minifigure, and it came in arguably one of the best Clone Trooper battle packs ever made, that being the 501st Clone Trooper battle pack. The set featured 2 regular battle droids, 3 regular 501st troopers, and then 1 special JETPACK trooper. And it really was a fantastic set if you wanted to army build the 501st Clone Trooper Legion. And since the 501st battle pack has retired, the regular Clone Troopers that were featured in it have almost doubled in price. They've gone from about £5, maybe £6 to about £12 and upwards. And the story is almost identical for that of the JETPACK Trooper that was featured in this set. His price was originally about £8 and now you're looking at about £16, and it's only been retired for merely 2 months. So it really does beg the question, how much more value will this minifigure gain in say a year or even 2 years time? You could be looking at quite a valuable minifigure that you was able to get for relatively cheap. So £16 or $18 or euros, I would say is a pretty good deal for such a popular minifigure that people are definitely want to get hold of a few in order to army build. So that's why the 501st JETPACK Trooper made it in my top 5 list. And in at 4th place we have the 187th Legion Clone Commander. This minifigure really does look so cool. The purple markings on the armour look magnificent, and then on top of that you've got that really cool and unique helmet that's different to that of the 187th Legion regular Clone Troopers. And for such a cool Clone Trooper minifigure, the price probably doesn't really do it justice. It's pretty cheap, all things considered, as you can grab this minifigure for just over £10 on eBay, and this clone minifigure is still actually available to buy on shelves, as you can grab this minifigure in the LEGO Republic fighter tank. But the main reason I think this Clone Trooper minifigure will do really well in the aftermarket is because supply has been so low on this minifigure, yet the demand has been crazy high. And because there's been such a shortage of these LEGO sets across all of Europe, people have been desperate to get hold of this minifigure with very little success. So unless LEGO changes that and maybe they start pumping out more of these sets, or maybe they even extend this LEGO set's lifespan for maybe another year or so, I think that so few fans have been able to get hold of this set that when it comes to retirement, this minifigure should really go up quite a bit in price. So the 187th Legion Clone Commander is definitely a minifigure that you'd at least want to consider buying in the near future, and you'll be able to get him for a very reasonable price. Moving on to our 3rd place, we have the 187th Legion regular Clone Trooper. So as you can probably tell, this minifigure has a lot in common with the previous minifigure we just discussed. The first of which being is that they come from the same LEGO set, that being the Republic fighter tank, which, as I previously mentioned, is still out on shelves. But the reason I put the 187th Legion Clone Trooper ahead of the Commander is the fact that more people are likely to army build with the Clone Troopers rather than the Clone Commanders. Those looking to build an army of 187th Legion Clone Troopers are more likely to stock up on a ton of Clone Troopers instead of the Commanders, because why would you want loads of Commanders with not barely any Troopers? It just wouldn't make any sense. And it wouldn't look very good if you got, say, the equal amount of Clone Commanders to Clone Troopers. And on top of that fact, you've also got all the added bonuses of the previous minifigure, such as the fact that the set that this minifigure features in is quite rare and it's really hard to find in all of Europe. However, when you are able to find the set, it's only £35 or €40. So it's a fairly cheap set, meaning you can easily stock up on a few of these. So when it comes to the set retiring, you'll be stocked to the gills with 187th Legion Clone Troopers. In at second place, we have the 332nd Clone Trooper. So here we have the 332nd Clone Trooper minifigure that recently featured in the AAT set. I personally really like the design of this minifigure. It's got the standard legs and torso of an original 501st minifigure, but it's got a completely different helmet print, with that orange that looks really cool. And obviously if you've seen the Clone Wars, you'll know why this Legion of Clone Troopers has that special marking. And it's because the 332nd Clone Trooper Legion follow Ahsoka Tano, hence the orange markings on the helmet. And because of that fact, they were included in the recent AAT LEGO set, which also featured Ahsoka Tano, so it was very fitting to have them two in the same LEGO set. And what was interesting about that set is that it only included one of those special clone troopers, so it really isn't very easy to build up a big collection of these minifigures, as you'd have to buy a lot of these sets in order to gain just a few minifigures, as there's only one included. And because of that fact, it made these clone troopers really rare. And even when the set was still in circulation, the price of these minifigures was still ranging from about £15 to £20, which was a significant chunk of the actual retail price of the set that it came in. So people were definitely clamouring to get hold of these minifigures, and you can certainly see why. In merely a few months after the set has retired, this minifigure continues to go up and up in price. So to anyone who bought the AAT set when it was out in circulation, or to anyone who stocked up on the minifigures whilst they were a little bit cheaper, and seeing as it's unlikely that this minifigure will ever be made again, it's pretty sure to keep going up and up and up in price. But before we get to our number one spot of today, I thought I'd include a dishonourable mention. This is a minifigure that personally is not going to be as anywhere near a good as investment as some of the other minifigures on this list. I'm not saying that the price of this minifigure won't bounce back, but for now it's probably not the best investment, and that minifigure is the 212 Clone Trooper. Now I'm definitely not saying don't buy this minifigure, because it's a great minifigure, and if you used to army build this minifigure, it would look really cool, especially if you've got the ATST set, which includes Commander CODY. But the reason I put this minifigure on the list is because it's going to be featured in the latest Star Wars magazine, which means you'll be able to pick up this minifigure in that magazine for only £4.50, so this minifigure's price is definitely going to tank in the next few months. So if you're in the UK or Europe, this minifigure is definitely worth picking up for £4.50, but put simply, I wouldn't pay anything over that for the next few months. And moving on now to our top spot, we have the Clone Commander CODY. You may have seen this one coming, but this minifigure is absolutely outstanding, and he's definitely the best part of the ATTE set that was recently released. And yes, I know what you may be thinking, the set isn't due to retire until 2024, however, I personally think that his price of about £18 or about $20 is good enough to start buying up a few of these minifigures right now. Because give it 2, 3, even 4 years, the price of this minifigure will probably be near enough $100, just in my opinion. And I base a prediction like that on the current value of the Commander Rex minifigure, which is selling for crazy amounts of money on the aftermarket. And yes, although it may take a good few years for it to reach those kind of prices, I still do think that it will be attainable, especially if LEGO doesn't release another Phase 2 Clone Commander CODY, which I highly doubt they will. And just think that if loads of people in Europe stock up on a ton of 212 Clone Troopers and try to army build, they will definitely want to be getting their hands on the Clone Commander CODY in order to go with those clones. So that could very well be another reason why demand will go through the roof for this minifigure very soon. And I personally have just bought the ATTE set, which is a brilliant set, and let me tell you that the Commander CODY minifigure is so good. So for just under £20 or about $20, this minifigure is certainly not one that you want to be missing out on. So what did you guys make to this list? Are there any clones that you think I should have added on this list? Or do you think I got it spot on? Let me know down in the comments. As always guys, I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and stay tuned to the channel as I've got lots of cool content coming out very soon. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.